Hey YouTube, another update. I haven't posted anything in this series yet, but I think I'm just going to wait till it's all done and kind of do a how it was built. But this is a picture of the council ring being built. As you can see, an awful lot of stacked stone. There's some sections that still need to be brought up to level, but it's getting there. I would say it's about 50% done, 60% done technically. Probably more like 50 because the cap and the whole height of everything has to go back up a little further to get where we need to be. But long story short, this is the state of it. You can see it'll be a pretty good area. It's 30 feet from one side to the other. So it should have a nice little fire pit area in the center where that pile of mason sand is soaking up the rain right now. Yeah, and I don't know why there's a little dip in the wall right there where they haven't finished up some bits, but long story short, coming together. Got some drainage holes on the back. Thinking about doing a flagstone patio on the inside, for sitting, to put some nice chairs on and things like that. But that's what's going on. A giant pile of rock has been spread out. It looks like it's, a bunch of it's gone, but really it's mostly just spread out. So I still have a ton of rock material left here to use around the property, and I plan to over the next year. I'm going to burn it up. I'm going to use it up because it's a natural resource. It's here, and I found some masons I like working with. So hopefully, if all goes well, that whole pile will become another great set of walls and things for this property. And I love it because the stone is what's from here. It's literally from the foundation of my house. So it's couldn't get more appropriate for the site, and generally matches pretty well with the color of the house, which was kind of how it was all meant to be. But as you can see, I've had to take out a couple more trees, dying of emerald ash borer, but that's not the moral of the story. I did get a log splitter, which I'll be using to split up this pile this autumn once I get the next phase done of where I want to actually put the stacked wood, because I don't want to just have rounds laying on the ground. I'm going to build a deck around this monstrosity and a deck on the back after I take out this giant ash on the right, which is dying. That's got to come out, and then on the back side of that metal box trailer or whatever it is, I'm going to put a deck around it. On the back is going to be where I stack the wood pile. On the front's going to be a little porch, and I'm going to try to close that box trailer in to make a little storage shed just for garden utilities and things like that. So that's it. Anywho, this is the look. I think it's looking pretty tidy. The guys went around and raked the other day to pull back some of the harding that, they'd just been shattered around where they were shaping the stones. Lots of raking left to do, obviously, but gets a bit of perspective. I think it looks pretty damn cool. I think Jensen would be proud. Well, it's September 16th, 2022. The rock pile is slowly getting teased apart, shaped into different smaller piles of similar sized rocks. Trying to kind of consolidate, pick through the work to find what there is. A lot of this is just tiny shards that are like fill or more rubble for backfill. But lots of great big pieces of stone that can be split and still used. There's tons of material here still, literally, pun intended. You can see the masons have been kind of splitting up pieces and cutting them. Right now they've moved on to the phase where we're making the top caps for the rail. And let's go take a look at where we are on the project for the council ring. All right, as you can see, most of that ring is physically there. I mean, the perimeter is established, got the edges built and set up for the entryway, which will be right here in the center. It's a 7-foot wide opening, so it should be ample space to walk in, and maybe two people passing by at any given time should be fine. And as you can see, the taller or thicker stones are being placed on as a cap right now, which will form ultimately the top of the wall and be the spot that we sit on. So for those who will come in the future and get to check out the wall and have a rest on it, you can see how it's built. So bottom part's all done. It's really about just putting those thicker, flatter capstones like we have down here, breaking those up and putting them in the right places to form the cap of the wall. So yeah, pretty good. All in all, got some reference marks of where things need to kind of line out to be. to show thicknesses and so forth. But pretty good. Lots of material already pre-sorted and sized in here. It's going to be pretty good. Pay no attention to the pile of just random brush over there that needs to be disposed of. Branches, dry timber, that's all stuff that needs to be burned in the bonfire at some point. And the next order of business for this, once the wall cap is done, which I think should take a couple of days to put that top cap on all the way around, I'll be setting up the smokeless fireplace for the middle, which should be pretty good. I've ordered the ring or the insert, the metal part from Amazon. It's not smokeless as you get it, but with some pretty basic modifications, I should be able to transform that into what I need. And the guys are going to build the same style of stone around in the middle, around the fire pit that I'm going to put there. So it should be really nice. This is coming together. I would figure another couple weeks and this project will be done. So I'm hoping when I go back and edit this video and piece it all together by the, I don't know, middle of November, November 15th, I hope that this is done and functional. So maybe by Thanksgiving I can come out here with some friends and have a little tiny fire. So that'll be cool. The other thing I'm super excited about is as soon as this construction's done and I get rid of this remaining pile of debris and stuff that needs to be burned, the clean dry wood from some forms and some other nonsense that's over here, I've got a couple more trees to plant that I've had in nursery beds that belong on the perimeter of this council ring. It'll be good to finally get them in the ground in a place where they need to be for the rest of forever and out of a nursery bed. So that is your walk around. I believe, if I remember the dimensions correct, it's 30 foot inside for the inside diameter of this stone circle, and it's about 2 feet high. It's about 2 feet thick, so it should last a long time, I hope. Hopefully way longer than I'm alive, for a long time to come. So we'll see what it looks like with the cap all done and leveled up. Obviously there's a bit of a taper on each of these sides because they just did this section over here at the end, but I'm very excited. I hope you think it looks cool. I think it looks cool. It'll look even cooler when the ledge cap's on. It's all raked out, and next spring it's open for business for regular fires hanging out around the council ring. Anyway, keep you posted when I got the next bit of this video done. Well, it's probably super windy, but taking a video update, as you can see, the council ring or the Coliseum or whatever the hell you want to call it is doing pretty well. There's some little bits of repair to finish up in here on this end where things weren't quite right. This end we just started setting the stones today, so certainly want to go back through and piece in the stones for the top, laying in the capstones. But by and large, modulo some cleanup. This is getting along where it should be. Yeah, it looks like there's a huge difference in height between over there and then over here, and you'd be correct, but that's because the ground has a huge pitch to it. So the wall is actually level on top, but the grade has a pretty large ramp down. So the intention is to dig out the inside of this area and then put down a patio inside with a fire pit right where that stake is in the center. And by the time the patio's in here, it'll go right to where these white PVC drains that are sticking through the wall are. So that should help quite a bit and allow any water that gets in here to drain through. But this is more or less what the council ring looks like. It's a bit of chaos for job site shenanigans around here cleaning this stuff up, but you know, it'll be pretty good after I get the rest of the cleanup done. You know, mountains of debris and shards of stone everywhere, but it's all perfectly good stone to go pick back up and move elsewhere. A lot of this is just fill, which will be fine because it'll just help drainage. So put the patio in, so that's the next step, is figure out if it's time to do the patio and the fire pit. The metal fire ring came today, and I'm about to go, well, later today or tomorrow, I'm about to go drill some holes and modify it for a smokeless fire ring. So just gonna walk back here, obviously up this way. Sorry for aiming the camera at the ground there. The apple orchard is over here. The berry beds are in those gray planters in the back. Looking over here, that is the council ring. It's a 32 foot or 30 foot diameter on the inside. Pretty good sized patio, but should make for a good spot for hanging out. Pretty excited about it. So we'll see. Just got to get the fire pit part put in the middle. It's getting a little chilly out today. As a matter of fact, it's a little brisk right now. But it'd be a great day to sit around a campfire and do the outdoor relaxation thing. So progress. Well, all right, this is it. The guys have just finished, cleaned up. You can hear their truck starting right now. They're about to take off. But the council ring is done. Well, principally done. I mean, I'm gonna put a patio in it eventually. But for now, what you can see is that fire ring that I just bought on Amazon. I'll put a link to that at the bottom a little later, but that's a 4 foot fire ring. Looks pretty tiny because this is a 30 foot council ring. But I just talked to the guys, and the plan is we'll do that central fire ring should be 16 inches or 18 inches tall, and it's going to be about 18 inches thick in a circle with that ring dropped in the middle. And I modified it earlier today to be quote unquote smokeless, and I'll show you what I did to that. So this is just a generic heavy duty fire ring that I bought on Amazon, 3mm thick steel, and I drilled that series of 1/2 inch holes all the way around the top. It was easy enough to do. I just marked out with some blue painter's tape. It was like 1 inch wide tape from the top rim, and just marked out every 1.5 inches on center for the holes, and drilled the 1/2 inch with a step bit. Easy enough to do. And then I assembled the ring. So the guys are going to use that to test what they're building. But the idea is that the air will come in from the outside through the inlets at the bottom of the little step wall and pass up through the masonry, or between the masonry and this metal ring. And because the metal ring is warmed, that air will kind of rush up and out and come out these upper holes. For the idea is secondary combustion of the smoke, so helping it get more air to burn clean and hot, which is the idea. So anyway, this is the wall. It's got a little bit of sand left, probably just enough to finish up what we got to do for this inner ring. Just kind of showing the beautiful job these guys did. I mean, absolutely could not recommend them enough. And I will be posting a video, or a link rather, to well, not a link, I guess I'm gonna show the business card for the gentleman who runs the company. But this is just fantastic. And I want to say that, of course, anyone could nitpick something. You could find something about anything constructed that you don't like, and I'm sure I could find something if I looked real hard. But these guys were absolutely great, and anytime I noticed a problem or something I wanted corrected, they were quick to work on it, quick to get it resolved. They tidied up really nicely. I mean, they raked this out really well, given it was kind of rocky material to begin with, and I'm sure I'll come back and rake it out some more. But the reality is this whole area is going to get scratched up and filled with gravel or more harding, just to let drainage happen underneath the eventual patio that's going to go in here. So that's it. This is the idea. Just super excited to get to use this. I'm going to be traveling for work next week, and then after next week I'm hoping the guys will be back over here to start on this inner fire pit. And then when that's done, might even get to use this thing before the beginning of November. Who knows? That would be pretty darn cool. So, just gonna give you a little shot of it walking away. Hopefully that looks inviting. Sure does to me. Can't wait to use it. And then move on to phase 2 of this project, which is the patio inside. And then phase 3, which will be cleaning up this mess and turning it into something really nice. So, pretty excited. All right, it's a couple weeks later. It's November 1st today, and you can see got everything formed up, ready to go with the rebar and the all the crushed stone aggregate. It's ready to make up the base of this, and the wire ready to pour the actual concrete. So 4-inch thick slab at least through this area. Planning to come on Thursday. Yeah, long story short, should be good to go with this. Basically, all the excavation was done. Dirt was spreaded out around here. I still got to do some cleanup of this business because it's a little excessive the way it's heaped up around here. But yeah, that's it. A couple more action shots of just that truck pumping it out through that little chute that's just ratchet strapped on the end. We got a big long board for a screed. 6 guys, and I'll tell you what, if you've ever wanted to see a team work together, it's always the case of a good concrete team. Like, it's amazing how they all just know exactly what to do, and there's moments where they just stand there, but like when it's time to go, every one of them knows exactly what it's time to do, usually without saying anything, which is amazing. You can see the guys doing the hand troweling around the edge, establishing that line right up to the to a reference line or a chalk line they put on there earlier to get the drainage and grade all worked out perfectly. And we're nice enough to cover the center of the fireplace with some plastic for me to keep the concrete droppings from sticking to it, etc. It's gonna be pretty cool when it's done.